Yeah, welcome to a new video. I'll be doing some Blitz Kibitzing again because I was just logging in on the ICC just to check if something's going on before I go to bed, but I saw that there's quite an interesting match going on here, and it is two grandmasters playing here in 3-minute Blitz. Okay, I prefer 5, but what can you do? Okay, we've got here on the black side, this is Grandmaster from Armenian, Robert Hofshanisian or something. I write it in the description if you want to look it up, but I can also pick up the profile so you can actually read it here. He's the world junior champion from 2 years ago, I think. 2.6 something rated. But the more interesting player even is the white player here. You see a German flag, but this is due to him being in Dortmund at the moment because he played the super tournament, and this is most likely, it's not 100% sure, but most likely it's Sergei Karjakin playing here. He's rumored to be this Raffaello guy, and so let's see what happens. So we're right in the middle of a game here, and yeah, white has picked up a pawn on c6 and looks very good here with the advanced queenside pawns, but black has got some counterplay in the center. So let's see if he can convert this nicely. Of course, the time is a huge issue. 3-minute chess, always tricky. So I don't like my board here. I readjusted a little bit. It was all in a bit of a hurry, the setup here. Hope this is fine. Yeah, it looks okay. So I think this is better. Alright, so let's see what happens. Yeah, white has got a nice advantage still with the extra pawn. And he now pushes on with b5. Black couldn't take on d5 because of queen c4. Now rook d6, you've got queen c7. But black might be able to pick up b5. Yeah, he could take b5.
Check.
Okay. Yeah, well, black has also some issues with his king position. It's a bit tricky to play for black with little time on the clock. Moves like h5, yeah, and queen e5, some entering in black's camp can be quite annoying to face. Yeah, just grab this, but rook d6
Check.
now. Okay, h7 was hanging, okay. So white still retains a huge attack here with black's king running around.
Check.
But it's not sure if it's a clear win.
Check.
Yeah, they're down to 25 seconds about. Yeah, white basically hoping for an error on the black side with so little time at the open king. Okay, so he blundered f5, but okay, it's super difficult. But white is playing quickly also.
Check.
Now got rid of the queens, and there's a winning rook endgame with the two connected passed pawns. And he's rather quick also.
Check. Check.
Yeah, this is quick. But black is not slow either. Putting up a huge fight time-wise here.
Check.
Wow. Yeah, white managed to grab the rook. Let's see if he can mate in 2 seconds.
Check.
He might manage.
Checkmate.
Yeah. 4/10 of the second at the end. I hope they continue the match. I just saw that he was playing. Alright, I hope for a rematch here. Very, very tough fight. I hope he's in for some games. Really, because it's quite a treat to see such a good player playing Blitz online. Yeah, too bad Nakamura is not on. He could be. He's in Switzerland for the Biel tournament, but most likely he's preparing for his first round game. Unfortunately, he has disconnected. Sorry, I was hoping for more action here by Karjakin, but we we got a glimpse. 107 moves here in this in this game in 3 minutes. All right, so it doesn't make sense to make a 5-minute video, so let's see what else is on there. We've got Conrad Holt playing again. Danok, he doesn't have a title listed here, but he's an international master, but will be a grandmaster in about 4 weeks or something, when there are titles again awarded at the Istanbul Olympiad and Congress. Okay, he's playing in IM from the US, Areas 2. Let's check quickly if there's a name in the Mark Ginsburg. Okay, I don't know him.
Check.
So what's happening here? Black's trying to get some counterplay. This it wasn't a Grunfeld. It looks a lot like a Grunfeld, but yeah, Black has got some activity with bishop on g7, bishop on f5. White has the better structure though, so he wants to exchange some pieces. And I could grab a6.
Check.
Black is still quite active though. Maybe g5 coming up, or knight h5, those kind of moves. So White's king is a bit in a tricky position here, with Black's pieces being active in the center. I think now White should just take the knight, get rid of this piece. And bishop e5 is also a threat, really. Quite a dangerous threat. Okay, he's taking some time here. It's a critical position. Well, this is surprising. Or very complicated now. Knight takes f2. Very tricky. Knight takes f2, then knight f6, bishop takes f6, and then you've got queen h8 mate coming up, but Black has got a ton of checks. Queen h1 check, king g3, knight e4. Yeah, this would save Black even. Yeah, you can take on f2, I think. But it's not easy, not easy at all. Yeah, but I think you should take. What about bishop e5? Bishop e5. Bishop e5 didn't look so bad either. Why didn't he play bishop e5? Not quite sure. F4, of course, f4. Silly, yeah. He could play f4 on bishop e5. But this is working, I think. So knight f6 now, bishop f6, queen h1 checks, queen g3, knight e4 check, and you get rid of the bishop. I think we see this line now. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Does this have any point? No, this just blunders the queen. Yeah, he needs to take with the bishop now. Now queen to h1 check.
Check.
And knight e4.
Check.
To get rid of the bishop. And Black might even continue attacking in a way. King anywhere, or king f3 most likely, so Black cannot give a check with the queen. But you can take f6 now, and then try to get something on White's exposed king. Something like knight takes f6, queen takes, and yeah, maybe bishop e6 first, consolidating, and then try to invade them with the queen giving some checks. Yeah, it's not a nice position to play for White. This king is really exposed. But if you, as white, manage to get rid of the queens, for instance, you have a nice endgame with the a-pawn. So it's not so clear-cut. But what should white do now? Can you play... Yeah, if you play a move like a3, black would play bishop d5 check, yeah. And this bishop d5.
Check.
Yeah, and now just take it on g2. This looks really, really critical. Oh, now black can just take b2. Oh, he didn't, but black is still winning. Queen d5 check. Probably. Yeah, black missed a couple of clear wins now. Would be some nice win for black here. Danok is really a strong opponent.
Check.
Yeah, I don't see a queen d7 now. This looks like mate. This must be a mate somehow. Queen d7, king
Check.
f8. Queen d6.
Check.
Maybe. Bishop d7 and it's over.
Check. Check.
Queen b8 check. Queen b8 check maybe.
Game drawn.
Yeah, this is very lucky for the white player. Queen d6 just wins here. Queen d6.
Game drawn. Check.
I think this is winning here. If you go here, you have this.
Check.
And win the queen. And this should win also in a way. It's not so. Yeah, but you can take here and just push the pawn here. All right. So next game here. Let's see who else is playing here. Let's jump right in. This is. Yes, this is Yakov Norowitz. He's an American player, very good Blitz player, against Grandmaster Dlugy. Maxim Dlugy, also Blitz specialist. And we've got it's material equality. And I need to adjust the board slightly here. It's material equality, and black's king looks a little bit shaky here. Yeah, with here d6 is a nice threat. Also knight f5 coming maybe. Yeah, black looks critical here. Yeah, maybe he just needs to. Yeah, now knight f5 maybe. Knight f5. Yeah.
Check.
Yeah, black has queen c5 maybe. Queen c5 or queen b6. Yeah, getting rid of the queen. But white is better. Rook c1, and you basically have a sort of extra pawn on d5, and quite a strong one. So white just can centralize his forces. Try to win with this extra pawn. I mean, it's not an extra pawn mathematically, but in effect the d pawn is extra. This double b pawn doesn't do much. So now white enters into black's position. He also has this monster knight on e6 and the rook on c8, which really limits black. So it's quite nice for white. It's not super clear cut. King e4, knight d6 would be embarrassing. Yeah, very nicely played. Controlling f5 so that the knight cannot enter. So white tries to limit black's play.
Check.
And always stay active. Oh, this wasn't the best,
Check.
I guess. Black somehow escaped, but he's down to 12 seconds, so very difficult to hold this.
Check.
Yeah, Black will lose on time. Now he's got a better end game, but okay, it's 3-minute chess. Yeah, Dlugy offering a draw. I don't think Yakov will take it. We'll just win this on time. Very, very rare that you see people accepting draws in this kind of positions. In 3-minute games at least.
Black forfeits on time.
Yeah, a time win. So let's jump to Danok again. I think I go to follow him. I think it's always interesting. He's got a very nice rounded style. Okay, he was very lucky in this earlier game against Arias too, but usually he very nicely controls the position. Alright, so he's playing a Spanish player here, and we have some line here of the London system, where Black quickly got some initiative on the queen side. Just go quickly through this. And yeah, Black is somewhat better here because of his activity. He just needs to, yeah, win one of those pawns here, and he will likely promote B or C pawn. So White is somewhat tied up here. But okay, this transformation I'm not so sure about. If this is so great. It's not so easy to see how Black should improve his position, because White controls the E file, so you cannot enter with a rook there, and rook A8 or something doesn't really bring much positive, so not sure. White is pretty solid. Now you need to be careful about the pawns. This bishop on f6 is somewhat dumb piece. It cannot attack anything here, and it's also a very bad defender of the pawns. c4 can be easy prey for White, maybe. Yeah, something like queen e2, knight d2. Black can play rook c8, but it's not great. Okay, so maybe White. Oh, this looks weird. Opening up the position here. Yeah, okay, the king is still safe on g3, but I mean, I wouldn't have done it. I think I would be more inclined to use the d pawn and keep the king safe. But okay, maybe it was okay, but well, not the kind of play I would have chosen. What does White try? Maybe he tries to exchange queens. Yeah, this would also be nice. Then try to win the c4 pawn. So queen e8, is this a good move? It's not so clear. If you exchange, then king g7, Black also threatens g5.
Check.
Using, yeah, but
check.
Now rook e2 and g5, and I don't know. Black is back in business, I guess. If you take on f4 now, you cannot recapture with the king because of f6 winning a piece. Yeah, I think the worst is over for Black. He can also just take f4, king f3, and then chop off this knight. And it's not... yeah, he tries to win somehow. Maybe rook c1, c2, something like this. Very risky. The other way of playing would have been just a draw.
Check.
Yeah, I think Black is trying to play for loss here, in a way. Yeah, it happens. You have a nice position and just yeah, feel you should win somehow, and then you just try too hard. It happens to me really a lot, so I sympathize with this. Yeah, now just king d5, king d5, c4. Black can win the b pawn. Oh, this is weird. Why not king d5? King d5, rook c2, rook e1, king c4, and you will pick up the b pawn, and white will have connected pass pawns. Now you can still play king d5. Why doesn't he do this? Rook c2, rook e1, rook b2, king c4. And black cannot move his rook without losing the b pawn. Then you just push the d pawn. This is just a win. King d5. I mean, it's also close to the only move. What else should you play here? I take some time. Let's see if he finds it. King d5 just wins. I'm not sure if there's some other good move. I mean, what else would you play if you give a check on f2? Black plays king e6 and is happy to have his king position improved. Yeah, now he found it. Why not to e1? e1 would have been better, because then black doesn't have rook b1. And the rook belongs back on the first rank. Alright, the end game. Lots of weird things possibly happening. Okay, so now black can at least get the g pawn and get into some sort of race. Rook g1 or rook d1 check, and then rook g1, grabbing the
Check.
g pawn.
Check.
Yeah, white is still okay, but he really gave black far too much here in this position. Could have had a similar
Check.
structure with, I don't know, a ton of extra tempi. And now I'm willing to bet on black already. I don't know. The tendency of this game is just bad for white. Or tendency, the trend. Let's say the trend is a better word. But white shouldn't lose. He's got his king near the pawns, and it's also better time-wise. So just king e5 maybe.
Check.
Rook g4. Rook g4. He needed to retreat to e3. Yeah, black is winning now. Yeah, white really blundered this endgame away. It was winning at the beginning. Yeah, shame, but well. Yeah, black can just push the g-pawn now. He should have taken a bit more time
Check.
before playing rook c5. Yeah,
Check.
this pawn just promotes. And
Check.
black's king is in front of the pawn, so the connected pass pawns
Check.
really don't help white. Yeah, king d6 and that's it.
Check.
And king c5. Pawns are stopped now, and you can just pick them up now.
White resigns.
Yeah, white spoiled a huge chance here in this game to get a big scalp. Yeah, his play, Holt's play is a bit shaky this evening, I guess. Could have lost earlier and drew, and well, this was a loss also. But in very instructive endgame. Okay, I was trying to look at it quickly, but we have got the next game going. Yeah, against another grandmaster here, Grandmaster Sleepak, I don't know, from Argentina. And got a rare variation. You have the Queen's Gambit, and which is posed into a sort of exchange variation, where black has played this somewhat superfluous move a6, but it yeah, it's not so great for black. But I need to adjust to the structure here. Black has managed to exchange his bishop, which often helps him. Structurally, this e7 or d6 bishop is a good bishop, but very often in these kind of structures you simply have too many pieces, and you need to exchange some of them. You have less room, less space, so exchanging of pieces is very often yeah, helpful. Alright, we transposed into some isolated pawn structure here, with white having played the move f3, and usually black is okay if white has played this f3 move. Black has the counterplay against this pawn, but he shouldn't exchange so many pieces. Maybe knight e5 is an idea at some point.
Check.
Alright, so white wants to exchange a couple of pieces. Yeah, and then b3, yeah. Yeah, this is, I think now really slightly better for white. There's too much exchanged here, so that black doesn't have any concrete play against e3, and, well, black still has the isolated pawn. Lots of endgames will be worse for him. Yeah, but not much happening here really. Black seems fairly active. Knight d3 maybe coming up. How do you protect e3 even? a2 also hanging. I'm not sure what white should do here to protect his stuff. Knight d3 maybe? Knight d3 and then pick up e3. Knight d3, rook c3, rook e3 should be playable. It's a somewhat strange pin, but you've got rook e1, this threat. Yeah, I can just take now. Just take e3, rook e1, checkmate. Is threatened. If white plays knight c2, you can play rook e2 and counter-attack this knight. So now just rook e1 and rook somewhere, rook d1. Yeah,
Check.
black needs to get out of this pin on the third rank, so rook d1 now. Yeah, and black has a pretty clear extra pawn, I would say. Okay. Yeah, still a pawn. But rook c7, yeah, coming up. I think rook d1 was stronger before. You were also... This also threatened knight e1 check, so I think this was the better move. Yeah, it's still not so easy.
Check.
I was thinking a bit how black should... wow, yeah, well, exchanging rooks is absolutely...
Check.
yeah, well, now white is fine again, because b7, you cannot keep b7 here. Yeah, now black must be very cautious. This can easily be worse for him, with white's knights being active. White's knights. Wow, this is difficult to pronounce for me. Yeah, now knight c5, and you've got the d pawn blocked. And white's king is also quick in joining This is very critical for black now. The d-pawn can get lost easily. But what now? Maybe black was just in time to keep this position together.
Check. Check.
Now black might be even better here.
Check.
Oh, this was this was cool. d3 now. A very nice play by black, maybe. Possible that that he's able to push his pawn home now. King d4, and then use the knight to get rid of white's knight, so that you can maybe promote the d pawn. Knight where? Knight.
Check.
Yeah, now you can just use the king, I think. King d3 c2, something like this. Oh wow. Yeah, still tricky. Yeah, he tries to stop the a pawn with the knight, but white has also got the h pawn. Cool race now, but yeah, black should be quicker really. You just promote, and the b pawn is also fast. I think black should be winning.
Check.
Yeah, knight e3 check, king. You also could have gone back, and now just push the b pawn. Ah, yeah, okay. So now queen exchange. Is this winning? I guess it isn't.
Check.
Wow. Exchanging queens now, I think, doesn't win.
Check.
This must be. Is this a draw? Okay. So black wants to secure the draw with nothing on the clock. Maybe I could have still won. I'm not quite sure. But this was too quick for me to calculate this. Okay, maybe made the decent practical choice with so little time. Yeah, a game with ups and downs in the end game. I think at one point white was very good. I think this kind of position must be very good for white. But somehow it didn't materialize.
Check. Check.
And this f5 move was really strong. No, I'm sorry.
Check. Check.
Yeah, this must be winning. Takes. It's still tricky. It's still tricky. Amazing. 94. Not much alternatives. Very tricky endgame. Alright, so let's watch the next game, the last game for this session. I really need to go to bed at some point. I didn't plan to do this really. So we've got a King's Indian attack here, and not quite sure what white is doing. Yeah, black is gaining space. I think black should be already very good here. Only white play would be yeah, with the f pawn, but black has got yeah, all its pieces geared towards yeah, hindering white from playing f4. Okay, now black can just grab this pawn.
Check.
Yeah, black should be very good here. With his advantage on the queen side. And white's queen is somewhat astray on a6, but yeah, you cannot catch it, I guess. I'm not sure about c4. I was more thinking about knight d2 c4, something like this, using the square for a piece. What this? Oh well, he's human after all. He just blundered this bishop. Or is there some queen trap? The queen doesn't have much space. Maybe bishop h3 now. You cannot exchange on c6. Rook c6 really catches the queen. Where this is tricky. Rook c6. Okay. Maybe queen f8 and a takes b4. Then white has got two pieces for rook, basically. What? Why didn't he take on f8? Yeah, now black is just winning. A very weird play. This was, I mean, if you recognize that you lose the queen, why not take the rook instead of a minor piece? Okay, so black should just win now with this extra material. There's just not much else going on. Okay, white might try to play knight to f5 or something, or drumming up something on the h-file, but okay, black has just got extra material. Hard for me to believe that this shouldn't be a clear win. Maybe rook b7, yeah? Rook b7, h7, get rid of one rook. This would help. White can take on g5 now. He could have taken on g5. This would have been quite good, I think. Hey, it's still a bit tricky. Yeah, rook h6
Check.
would be. Yeah, you can give the queen back, and should have a very good endgame now. Black is threatening knight b3, winning the bishop, or in this case knight c1 to d3, winning yeah, well, all pawns. d3, b2, basically all pawns are lost now. I think white could have taken on g5 a couple of moves ago. This would have been
Check.
maybe tricky still. Yeah, this wins the bishop. Nice little shot.
White resigns.
King d2, knight c4 check, and picking up the bishop. Yeah, quite a strange game. I mean, especially this move. Why would you take here and not take on f8 and get the knight? I think white is still better then. It's very tricky in a blitz game, but I don't know. It looks quite obvious. And here bishop g5 or knight g5, and then you can just check here. You cannot go to the f-file because of rook f5 picking up the queen. I think this is a draw. funny enough. Cool. Yeah, I think white could have drawn here with taking. Or, I don't know, it's hard for black to avoid the draw, I guess. White's pieces would be all over the place here if you take on g5. I can, maybe I can even, oops, no. Oh no, yeah, I butchered this up here. I wanted to look at the game, but it didn't work out. Now I started a game with myself, not really what I wanted. All right, but I managed to catch 40 minutes of Grandmaster Blitz here. Unfortunately, not more with Karjakin at the beginning would have been nice. But some other interesting games, I think, as well. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope to do those again in the future. It's just a matter of luck when you're online and catch some interesting player that you can follow. All right, let's talk soon.